Yesterday, I asked you to look up information, facts about 3 minerals. And the 3 minerals that I gave you were halite and galena and calcite. You can see them on your screen as well. Very pretty. Now, these minerals have some things that are the same about them. We say they are in common with. They all have 3 cleavage. It means they are box. 1, 2, and 3. 3 directions of cleavage. The first 2, and halite, are at 90 degrees, and calcite you can see is tilted a little bit, but it still has 3. Okay. Another thing that's the same about them is that they are all pretty soft. They're all 2s or 3s in terms of hardness. Very soft, you can scratch them easily. Something that is very different is that they have different lusters, the way that light hits them. You see galena is metallic, looks like a metal. The other 2 are non-metallic. In fact, they are vitreous. Vitreous means light can go through it. So here are the answers from yesterday. Here are the answers. So the first one I gave you was halite. Halite is clear. Halite is, its color is clear, I'm sorry. Its luster, B, was vitreous. Light can pass through. Now I asked you something new yesterday. I wanted to know the chemical formula, and we see that it is NaCl. Capital N, lowercase a, capital C, lowercase l. That is sodium is Na, and chlorine is Cl. In chemistry, we call this sodium chloride. Sodium chloride, but the mineral name is halite. The next thing I asked you was the streak for D. There is no streak. It does not give off a powder. We already talked about cleavage, E. This has 3 smooth planes, and they are 90 degrees. They make a cube. F is the hardness, and you can see it's very soft, a 2. I can scratch it with my fingernail. Now G and H, I asked you what it tastes like and what it is used for. And you can see that halite is salt. So it tastes like salt because it is salt. And what is it used for? Well, it's used for food. It's used for roads in the winter time. We call that rock salt. So halite, sodium chloride, equals salt. Next mineral was galena. This is probably my favorite mineral. I just think it is beautiful. Galena has a silver color, A. Its luster is metallic. That's what makes it different from these other 2. It is heavy. In C, I asked you for density. It has a density of 7.4, very heavy. It's got lead in it, and lead is heavy and dense. It does have a streak. If I color it on a streak plate, I get a gray powder that is left behind. It is cubes, so it's also 3 cleavage and 90-degree angles. But it is soft. Lead is soft. We can bend it and twist it and scratch it. It only has a hardness of 2, letter F. And G is the chemical formula. Pb is not peanut butter. Pb is lead. And then S, sulfur. This is lead sulfide. Remember, that's sulfur. the yellow one. It has some of this in it too. After you touch lead, you're supposed to wash your hands. So this one has two kind of gross things in it. Lead is dangerous metal and sulfur is stinky. Letter H, I asked, what do we use galena for? Well, it is what we call an ore. We can get lead out of galena. And we use lead for things like batteries, especially car batteries, big batteries. One more mineral for today. We had calcite. Now, calcite's a very special mineral for Indiana. We have a lot of this mineral in our state. Calcite can be lots of colors. The one in the screen is clear. I have one that's more kind of chalky or white, but you can see right on the edges, it does shine. Light can go through those edges. So in B, its luster is vitreous. Vitreous light passes through. I wanted to know the formula again. And this one has calcium, like in our bones and our teeth. And it is a special group called carbonates, CO, carbon and oxygen. Remember the silicates were silicone and oxygen? Now we have a carbonate, carbon and oxygen. So we have calcium carbonate, and all minerals that are calcium carbonate do something special, and it's down in letter F. If you put acid on these minerals, they disappear, they go away, they bubble, they fizz. That's the bubbles you see down below. Letter D, 3 cleavage, but they are not equal to 90 degrees. They are tilted. Letter E was the hardness, and this is also very soft. It's a 3. I can't scratch it with my fingernail, but I can scratch it with just about everything else. Letter F, what happens when you put acid on the mineral? It bubbles, it fizzes, it dissolves. Letter G, what do we use it for? Calcite is in a rock called limestone, and that's the rock that we get out of southern Indiana. It's very famous. It's used to make lots of buildings all over the world, not just in Indiana. But here we see the state Capitol building downtown. Some of you have probably been down there to see this. And that is made of Indiana limestone. So calcite is used in buildings.